Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another Autocross car build, and my vehicle today stands a very good chance of challenging the BAC Mono. That is because we have got the Alfa Romeo 4C. This is a fantastic handling car. It is small, it is light, it should be very, very good for autocross, but still, the BAC Mono's time is very, very impressive. The Alfa definitely stands a chance of challenging it, but it's still going to be quite tough. I'm really hoping that we have enough rear-end grip in the Alfa Romeo. If we do, I think we could definitely go very, very fast around the autocross course. Now, the Alfa does start off in B class, which means I am going to be relatively limited by what upgrades I can do. I mean, race tyres are going to put us pretty much to the top of B class. Now, the one advantage that these car builds have over the Mono is they can have race tyres. The Mono, completely standard, was still on road tyres, so we have a little bit of an advantage in that, although admittedly at the moment the Alfa is still £1,000 heavier than the Mono, but hopefully by the time we're finished this won't be quite as big a difference. Ooh, we've got some 285s on the rear, which is pretty nice. And what are we going to get on the front? Probably two 4.5s. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd always like bigger and bigger tyres, but on a car small and light, these should do more than enough, hopefully, to keep us all under control. Now, I'm hoping we should be able to... Oopsie, sorry, don't want to go to quite there yet. I'm hoping we should get that on there. We've still got enough PI for some other bits and pieces, so we're down to £2,155, which is not too bad. On the weight, we will get some brakes. Again, we're saving a little bit of weight. Get some race suspension on the car. Again, saving some weight, although we will want a roll cage. Now, the roll cage is unlikely to add too much weight. I'm hoping on this car, being a very, very small vehicle, the roll cages tend not to add that much on the weight front, but we are going to want all of the chassis rigidity that we can get. Yeah, it does add. It's only £37. That's about the lightest roll cage I've seen. So, yeah, we're still under 2,200. I'm hoping I can take that weight with an exhaust upgrade, potentially. Although we will, I'm going to guess, add some weight, because I am going to want to put... have we got some alternate options? Okay, so we've got very slight different wings there, or we can go for the full-on Forza wing, which we will have. And then we've got... we can have little... we can have little side vents. Or we can go for a proper diffuser. I'd like to have sort of like options to have like them and the diffuser as well if you wanted to. Because it seems like you could have both of them without too much problem, but there we go. So yeah, we'll do that. We've still got a little bit of PI to work with. What engines can we get? We're not going to swap the engine in it. I'm just curious as to what we could get. V6, V8 racing. Oh wow, you can put the quad rotor in the 4C. That's certainly not going to stay in A-class, but that would be mighty noisy and very, very quick, I would imagine. And also the aerial atom engine is quite light. No, we'll stick with the standard engine in the car. Let's go give the vehicle these gearbox and flywheel in there. Admittedly, probably not going to change a huge amount in the Alfa, but I would like to have it. And again, we will stick the diff on as well. Thank you, game. Right, so now we can get a little bit more power in the car. We will go for as much weight reduction from this as possible, so exhaust as per normal. First thing I will jump to. Can we get pistons in? No, that takes a little bit of weight off. This tends to take off a fair amount of weight. Well, I say a fair amount of weight. It takes off some. There's not a huge amount of weight that can be taken off in the car that's already been made to be incredibly, incredibly light. We're not going to get that in. I'm pretty sure of that much. We can get 12 horsepower from that. That's going to be far too much power. Can we maybe sneak on? Nope. Definitely can't sneak that on. Right, okay, I think that was probably not the right one to go for with... Oh, no, wait, what was it? Oh, no, it was that one there. Okay, we might have to take that down. The problem is that any performance, any engine power parts jump the PI up massively because the car is so good handling. So we have to pick and choose what one we can get the best out of. That's 13 horsepower. That is 16 horsepower. It gives us 3 PI left. That is going to be too much by a long way. Turbo is going to be far too... surprised. I thought they'd go far up, far over. I'm not going to touch them because they'll add weight. So what we'll do is we will go for... Oh, no, it wasn't that one. It's this one here, wasn't it? 16 horsepower from that. We will chuck in the driveline to get some weight off the car. 14 pounds off it to be precise. And then I'm fingers crossed the flywheel will take off the final PI point. There we go. That'll do me. 284 horsepower, 305 torque, so we're okay on power and torque, and it's also very, very light at 2,100 pounds, as you would expect all from an Alfa 4C. It definitely stands a chance of going quick. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it will drive as nicely as the NSX. If that is the case, yeah, I expect to see this car very, very fast around the autocross track. Well, we are here at the Hockenheim circuit, where I will have 3 attempts to go as quickly as possible. Our target time from the BAC Mono is a 2 minute 7.7. That's what we've got to try and beat if the Alfa is going to get to the top of the table. I really, really hope the car drives nicely around here. I think that it probably will. We've got full racing tyres. There's not too much power. We shouldn't have oversteer problems. I really hope that we don't. I can deal better with the understeer problems. Here we go, Alfa. How do we manage? Yeah, pretty good. Gear ratios may be a tiny tad too long in here. These are lovely. You could just boot it out of the corner. It is absolutely fine. Here is the question: how quick can we be through here? Oh, pretty quick. I actually got a little bit of understeer through there that I wasn't expecting. I did try that one there, a little bit brave, pretty much just being flat out through there. We did have a tiny little bit of understeer. Oh, and I may have misjudged the width of the car. We're not okay. I think I'm now trying to push this at ridiculous speed through these corners, because I know that it will be, or it should be, a good car. It's slightly wider than I was expecting the vehicle to be. There is actually a bit of understeer going from the Alfa. As I said, that I can deal with a bit of understeer. I'll have to adjust my driving style ever so slightly. Again, we see a little bit of oversteer there as well. Okay, so it's not quite as perfect as the NSX. That much is for sure. We do, when jumping on the power, we probably will see around here as well. We're going to... Whoa, that was a big hit on the curb. Okay, curb, upset the car. An awful... This is a scruffy first run, but I'm kind of using it as a bit of an experimental run now. As yeah, I've clicked, I don't, God knows, 5-6 gates. Brakes pretty good. We do get turned through there without too many problems. Yeah, there's going to be no issue coming down there. How late dare we go on the brakes? Yeah, we can stop really very, very well. It's... Yeah, there is some understeer coming in from the car, and then a couple of places when I'm thinking, okay, I can deal with that, that's not a problem. Then we just get a bit of a burst of oversteer. That's going to be too tight. Yeah, forgot how wide the 4C is. It's a surprisingly wide vehicle, this one. So yeah, this first run is pretty much a throwaway one. Very, very much experimenting with what we can get away with in the car. I mean, we hit a lot of gains in that one. It's good. It is a good car, but there are a couple of handling quirks that I need to get used to quickly. Okay, on to attempt number 2. Yeah, I've just got to try and not push the car a little bit too hard. I think it's a bit tempting with this vehicle to try and go just that little bit too fast for it. As it is pretty decent, but yeah, you still got to be aware of some things with it. Yeah, there is more understeer than I was perhaps expecting from the Alfa Romeo, so we will have to have a little lift through here. Let's have a lift on the way in. Oh, I think, again, it's such a wide car. I think I clipped the gate on the inside there. Got to be really aware of the width of the 4C. But it was much happier through there with a little lift. Yeah, we can deal with it like that. So over here, was this the one that I think I missed, trying to carry too much speed? Yeah, much better. Or was it? I can't even remember. The gates that I made silly mistakes on last time around. We will have to make sure to leave plenty of room for this car. Yeah, I mean, we are flat out through there. Speed-wise, actually a little bit down on straight line speed. Perhaps not too surprising. We aren't massively powerful in this vehicle. What was the Volvo? Even the Volvo, that wasn't a particularly good car, that was up towards the 112, 113-ish miles an hour. I think the Ford, the Mustang, may have got 115 down that particular section. I mean, it's only 5 miles an hour down, but still, yeah, the Alfa won't be as quick as them cars. It's not expected to be. Bouncing across the curbs. Now, I'm assuming we're going to have Yeah, plenty of grip to do that change of direction there. And we may even be slightly on the brakes a little too early through there, although having it nice and settled is always nice through that section. Be aware of the width. We're not quite as bad as the Hummer for width through the tunnel down there. And then keep the car out quite nice and wide, and then try and bring it back to the inside through there. Works nicely. Or I may have just tried to turn in a little bit too soon. And we'll get it stopped around here. So I don't really want to put the car, the gearing is just not quite right. So I don't want to put it down into first. It won't, first gear is not going to be long enough, but second just feels a tiny bit too long for what we're doing here. And then we can boot it down this bit here. We will cross the line. It's a 213. That was only with one gate clip. So it's going to be close. It's going to be close. That's a 5-second penalty. If I get a really good run, maybe we can beat the BAC. The final attempt for the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, remember the width through the fast sections. Remember the width of the 4C, and I think everything will be good. Yeah, I did a much better job of dealing with the handling quirks that time around. I may have just ran slightly too hot into that first part. Yeah, I definitely prefer slow the car down, get the neat line on the way out of the corner. That's tends to be how I will drive these vehicles. Right, it's through here. Remember how wide the Alfa Romeo is. Better through there. It's not amazingly quick through these sections. I did expect it to be a tad quicker. I mean, yeah, okay, we don't have the power of the Mustang and so on. Still a very light car. I think it's just the gear ratios are just a tad too long in this vehicle. But there is still an awful lot of grip though, so you can keep that speed up through these sections. I don't like it more than the NSX. That one there was faster through that section. We're up to 113, so a little bit better. Yeah, I still think the NSX is the best handling car I have driven around here. It was down on the time, but the NSX was very, very nice to drive. This is a bloody good car. Do not get me wrong, but yeah, the NSX was just that little bit more behaved. Again, I think the longer gear ratios may be helping a tiny bit with the oversteer in this car, because it is slightly more prone to it than some of the other vehicles I've driven. Again, I mean, I'm only talking a slight amount. You won't see this car sliding around. It's still going to be very planted on the road here. Yeah, we should be able to nail that through there, through the tunnel, and then of course we can be late on the brakes down here. Run that little bit wider line through there. Oh, I slightly balls that one up there. I was trying to carry all of the momentum through the hairpin. I did pretty well, but I just had to have a slight dab on the brakes. That was really close to the okay there, but you have got to run it close. You know, if you want to set a quick time, you've got to get it close to the gates down here. Oh, and then we've got to weave, wait to get on the power. Now we can, and there's enough grip to weave our way through there. Is it going to do it? It's going to be close. It does. The Alfa 4C goes to the top of the table. The 2 minutes 6.9, I think that was. Well, it's gone almost a second faster than the BAC Mono. Oh. It's a good car. The 4C, as you would expect, is very, very good when it comes to autocross. You do have to be aware there is a little bit of understeer from this car. Again, I'm not talking massive amounts at all when I say this. There is a little bit of understeer at the higher speed sections that I wasn't particularly expecting from the 4C, and a couple of places it could get some oversteer, mainly at the transition between the normal Hockenheim layout and the national circuit down there. We've seen a lot of cars sliding through that bit, especially if you hit the curbs as well. Curbs it does not like those curves at all, so you've got to be a little bit careful on them. Yeah, strangely, I do still prefer the NSX to drive. I think the NSX is a slightly nicer car to drive, but around this course, the 4C is the faster, or the faster than anything, faster than the NSX. It's, yeah, bloody fast. Getting it around this circuit. I think the brakes help it a lot. It's very, very good under braking. I will admit also that hairpin towards the end of the run, I did slightly have to have a change. I could probably got another half a second at least out of that hairpin if I'd got it completely smoothly through there. But still, 2 minutes 6 is phenomenally fast from the 4C. So we do indeed have a new leader. This is going to be an incredibly tough benchmark for anything in the future to try and beat. There we go. That's what I kind of expected the Alfa 4C to put up a good fight. I didn't think we'd quite get a second almost quicker than the Mono, but there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.